Hey guys, it's Kazi here. We're going to be taking a look at the 10 most used character ranking results for the X campaign that Global Dokkan hosted. I think a big thing to note right here are, as you can see, Fusion Supremacy, but also you can also see just a lot of the newer cards coming into fruition. So if you're expecting things like EZAs and stuff along the lines, I just want to go ahead and point towards the campaign period. It was from July 29th to 8/3. So the AGO MUI Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta EZAs, they only had like 2 days really to get into the poll, and by that time I'm sure that the poll was pretty much set in stone for these 10 characters right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just run through from the bottom to the top all the characters and why I think that they either deserve the ranking or that they deserve to be a little bit higher, and in general just how powerful the cards are. So first one is of course Frieza. Well, the 10th one is Frieza. I think that this card is just the definition of what a free-to-play card is. Solid stats, solid support. I just don't think this is the type of free-to-play card that people would run on main team rotations. The type of free-to-play card that people would run on main team rotations would be something like High School Gohan. Crazy damage reduction. And I think another big thing to point out is that free-to-play cards, you really want them to have a couple of core things surrounding them, or else they're fairly useless. I would say damage reduction, guard, and dodge. And support is a big must as well if you're running some of these cards. Like I said, with High School Gohan, he has damage reduction, and he has really good support for super classes. If this Frieza had something like guard, kept the same support, and maybe like, let's say 20% is damage reduction, or let's just say high chance to dodge, that would make him a significantly stronger unit in the sense that he would be able to hold up in some harder form content. Can he hold up in hard form content right now? Not really. He's pretty much a hide or die unit. And the thing is, like, we can't even classify him as a dodge or die unit, which is significantly better than the hide or die, because at least the dodge or die has a chance of living. Even if you run this guy fully dodged out, 30 dodge and stuff along the lines, he still doesn't have a flat baseline chance to dodge. So would you run this guy over a card like the sideburning unit for Broly, the Golden Frieza? Absolutely not. But if you didn't have the Golden Frieza, running this guy would be literally your only option. And I just don't think it's fair to free-to-play players that when they've finally ranked this guy up and grind him up, he's borderline just a scouter. That's it. He has a scouter for super attacks when there's a Pure Saiyans and Movie Heroes category enemy. That's about it. He's just a glorified scouter that has literally no means of defending himself. So the next card we're going to look at is, of course, Krillin in 18. This is a really good card. My only gripe with this unit is that it's a superheroes card that they expect you to run on a superheroes team. But I mean, I don't know if you guys have checked, but superheroes, like, the roster is just absolutely loaded. It has everything that you want. It has the best cards in the game, the best tanks, the best attack dealers, and of course, some of the best supporters in Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. So when they expect you to run a card like this, which has a really good chance to dodge, really good support for Ki as well, they're expecting you to run this card over like a card like Gammas. And I know what everybody's going to say, well, if you didn't pull Gammas, they're a good alternative. Of course, yes, that's a perfectly good example. If you did not pull Gammas, these guys are a great alternative. But let's say you're somebody who doesn't care about support. Why would you run these guys over AGO, MUI Goku, and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, Super Saiyan Gogeta? Like, there's so many cards in the superheroes category that absolutely outshine this unit in every single way, and it's just really hard for this unit to shine. If they were on a more limited team like Super Bosses, for instance, the same card, obviously it would be different characters because they'd be on Super Bosses, but this same kit, they'd prosper. They'd be absolutely amazing. But sadly, because they're on such a powerful team, until some of these cards start getting faded out, and this is kind of all we're left with in terms of a really good support, these guys are going to just be left in the shadows. Of course, we have Golden Frieza. Golden Frieza is an absolutely great unit for super bosses. He is a slot 1 beast. Towards the end of the fight, he definitely does lose his slot 1 gold. But he's still a very good card. Pretty similar to like what I said with AGO Krillin 18, this guy is very good for super bosses, but he's not exactly what super bosses is looking for. He's got the crazy support, don't get me wrong. He's got the crazy damage reduction that we talked about, which is what you need in a lot of cards. But what Super Bosses needs is a card more like this. Something to kind of hold the first/second slot so you can get your Broly's up, keeping that support while also keeping that dodge factor in. My Golden Frieza is ridiculously powerful, and I would personally rank this Golden Frieza a lot higher in terms of my usage over the 9th year, because he has 79% his hidden potential system, which means that I can put as many hidden potentials as I want into him. So my Golden Frieza has 29 dodge, and trust me, if you've seen the videos, he dodges a lot. It's a median percent chance to dodge, pretty much 30%. He dodges a lot, and he is a significantly better card. If they were to have Give in this guy, instead of like all the extra crit and stuff like that, dodge, it'd be GG. It'd be absolutely GG. He'd be exactly what the Super Boss category needs, but he still performs very, very well because he is, like I said, a slot 1 beast at the beginning of the fight, and although he does taper off towards the end, he can still live some of the strongest super attacks in the franchise at the moment. So, very, very good card. The reason I think that cards like these 3 in specific are so low are, for one, this is a free-to-play card, so of course people aren't going to be using like him a crazy bunch, especially when they realize how powerful the new cards are. These are side banner cards, so of course they're not going to get a lot of shine because people don't chase side banner cards unless, you know, you're a whale. They chase main banner units. Going on to the next one is the LR Pajama Beerus, and already I can tell, guys, this guy is absolutely terrible. The only thing I would change really about his kit, other than like completely overhauling the unit, is this reduced damage by 50%, and then he loses up to 50%. After 5 turns, you're going to go ahead and transform into the other Beerus. It's still Pajamas, but he can actually like attack and stuff. I just, like, look at this, the 5th turn. Like, come on, boys. Basically, this is going to be ran out by the time you get to it. If it was the other way around, like it was reduced damage by 50%, and with each passing turn, he gains 10%, no more than 50%, so meaning on that 5th turn, he'd have 100 damage reduction, I think this card will be a lot more usable. Or if they kind of flipped it and gave him more damage reduction, but kept the losing, something along the lines of 90% damage reduction, and you lose 10% each turn, no more than 50%, you transform, and then you have that 50% damage reduction once again for that 1st turn, I think that would give him a little bit of an oomph, so people could use him in shorter form content with the 90% damage reduction, but 50%, it's not enough. Like, it's really just not enough, especially for a free-to-play card, regardless if it's an LR, regardless if it's an EZA. Of course, we have the free-to-play login Gogeta. This guy has an EZA as well. He's just a pretty basic card. I think people used him and voted for him a lot because he's a very, very cool card. The super attack is kind of mid, but I mean, that's what you can expect from a free-to-play card. But I mean, he's just an overall good unit. I mean, giving people the chance to evade is a very, very big thing for the rotation. He is I would say a round out unit for some of the newer players in the Dokkan space. So if you don't have enough superheroes, if you don't have enough movie heroes, or fusion, final trump, etc., you can use this guy to complete a lot of the content. I would say right away, a big piece of content that you can be completing with this card would be a category mission like time limit. Huge category, very, very small category. A lot of Dokkan exclusives, a lot of LRs in this category. So if you don't have them, if you're a new player, you're starting out, using this guy to complete some of the category-based content would be absolutely perfect. Same thing with like Fuse Fighters. You know, a lot of LRs, a lot of Dokkan Fest that if you're a new player, you just don't have them. So having this guy just there to be a unit to complete content is very, very good. I think that's why he got a lot of the votes. And of course, it's the fusion buff. He's a fusion card. He's got the pose, you know, he's got the swagginess. Like he's a very, very attractive card to, I'd say, the majority of players, regardless if his kit is very, very mediocre in terms of 2024 Dokkan. Next one is Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. So, what else is there to say about this character? So, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, I actually didn't pull them. Got very, very shafted. But they are still a very, very good card. They are a very solid support. I would refer to them as more so of a big brain card. You can't just like keep them on rotation. You have to kind of play smart with them. You need to understand what their orbs do, what types of orbs that they need, when you should put them in the slot 2 versus slot 3. It's just a lot of brain power that's used into this, or not a lot, more so more brain power than usual put into a unit like this for it to prosper and get all the way up to Gamma 1. With that being said, I think that this card is up here. I mean, this would put it into the, what is this, the 5th used one? 7.4, which I would also like to point out is like a very, very big jump in this next card that we see. But yeah, for the Gammas, I just think that not a lot of people chase this card. I think a lot of people would give up on this card if they didn't get it within the first couple of rotations, and rightfully so. It is just, I would say, the 6th best unit on the superheroes team. If not, coming up, especially for global working UI, it's going to be the 7th best, meaning that it's going to be kicked off of the superheroes team, and we're probably not going to see this guy again, or these guys again, until we get more missions for like androids, more missions for artificial life forms, special pose, defenders of justice, etc., etc. And worthy rivals, another big category that they'd help out. But yeah, guys, they're just a very, very good card, but mid in terms of the other great cards on their category. And also, this leader skill is just, they should have made it something different. Like, superheroes is, you don't want to run double of this. I mean, you can argue this is a really, really good leader if you have the card, because then you, if you're running a full superhero team, you can put this as your main instead of like Beast Gohan. Everybody's already superhero, so they're going to get the 200%. And then for the friend, you could just recruit the Beast Gohan, who would only give 170, and then in some cases would give the extra 30% to some of the cards, but not all of them. So you can argue that this is a great leader skill for you having the card, but it's not very good if you're looking for the card. You want a double Beast Gohan. Like, for superheroes, you really do just want a double Beast Gohan. Next card would be Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Kaioken Goku and Evolution Vegeta. So this card, everybody already knows about it. If you don't have this EZA done, please get it done. It is ridiculously powerful. I would say that these guys are more so of a baby Gogeta, meaning that if you don't have Gogeta, these guys will accomplish a very, very similar feat in terms of Rainbow Orb changing. And I think this is a very, very good card for the superheroes category. It's going to be very, very good in Universal Survival Saga because they make Rainbow Orbs. I will always say that cards that make orbs are absolutely great. So right here, I just want to go ahead and point this out too. That's perform a critical hit +7, reduces damage received by 7, and launches an additional attack. That is a chance of becoming a super attack up to 3 times within a turn per rainbow key sphere. And then of course, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow key spheres when there is another superheroes category ally on the team. That will always happen because you're not running these guys on a team where you don't have at least one superhero. So anybody from the Tournament of Power, etc. Right here, I just want to go ahead and show out their categories. Basically, there's going to be another top representative on every single category, so they will always be Rainbow Orb changing. These guys are just an absolute monster. Of course, they're not a great slot 1 unit. You're going to want to run these guys in slot 2 or 3. They want to attack first. However, I think that this EZA is one of the best EZAs in terms of transforming the LR to just something that it really should be. It's a perfect EZA. So the big thing that people always like to point out is reduced damage received by 70% when HP is 50 or less once only and performs a critical hit. E is 24. This is supposed to counteract losing defense when you get the active skill. When you pop this active skill, E24 attack 70. Yeah, you're killing all this. This is absolutely great because basically you can activate it when you get 50%. So the turn that you can activate it, you want to pretty much use it. And I mean, this is going to kill a lot of bosses. So other than these guys being absolutely great for not just the category and the team, they are a great support unit in the sense that they make Rainbow Orbs for cards that really, really do need key. Next thing will be Broly. So as you can see, it's pretty close between these two, and then there's like another jump right here. But for Broly, I just want to go ahead and say this right now. The reason that it's so high is, for one, it's a Part 1 Dokkan Fest, so a lot of people are summoning it. And then, of course, the banner for Broly and Gogeta were absolutely insane. Buy 3, or it's buy 6, and then on the 7th one, you get the guaranteed featured SSR. A lot of people got Broly because of that. A lot of people got Gogeta because of that. Just want to go ahead and say that right now before I say it again for Gogeta. I think that's why he's number 1. But Broly, I think he's truly up here because, for one, you do need him for super bosses. If you don't have the physical Rose Goku Black, this is your leader. You could skate away with not getting this guy if you have the Rose Black. But you really, really do want this guy for super bosses, category, mission-based content. He is a ridiculously powerful card. And I do not think you should walk out of the 9th year celebration without at least attempting to chase this card, as well as Beast Gohan. Keep that in mind, which is our next one here. But I think this is a card that is, dare I say, a must-have. I think Beast Gohan is for sure a must-have. There's no question about it. But I think there's a lot to say about this card, Broly, right here, as being a must-have unit. Yes, I understand Broly's going to be back for the 10th year, but so is Beast Gohan, so is Gamma, so is Gogeta. But this card specifically, I think is going to help out a lot in the future with Super Bosses base content, because Super Bosses is a very, very, very limited team right now in terms of powerful 2024 units. I don't care about them putting all these Universal Survival Saga cards on there that they fought in the Tournament of Power if they're all trash. The only ones that are coming up that are going to be solid on Super Bosses would be things like Jiren's, things like Topos, etc. But those are coming out very, very soon. A lot of people aren't going to get their chance to summon on that, and those banners are going to be significantly worse than anything this Broly banner ever was. This Broly banner was absolutely insane. A lot of people got Broly chasing it, and rightfully so. This guy is at the moment, king of Super Bosses. At the moment, he is definitely very, very close to the line of a must-have for the 9th year anniversary. So the next thing would be Beast Gohan, which is a must-have for the 9th year anniversary. Beast Gohan, I don't really think I need to put a lot of time and emphasis on this guy. There's a big jump between Broly and Beast Gohan. Rightfully so. Everyone was waiting for this card. We got top grossing in 9 different regions, 10, but we ended up falling off one towards the end of the day. Global Dokkan and their top grossing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So just because we got it doesn't mean that we'll have it by the end of the day. But thankfully, we still had 9 regions by the end of the day that got top grossing. Like I said, rightfully so. This card is the best in the game. He is the king of Dokkan. Everything that you want in a card, this card has. Everything you want in a kit, this kit has. He is a perfect card. He's a must-have going into the future. For any sort of mission-based content that he's in, you're going to want to bring him. Even in mission-based content where he's not specifically stated to be in, a big one would be on my channel. I actually have a one of each extreme type unit for the Blue Zone mission, and I did one of each extreme type, and then in the 6th slot, I brought Beast Gohan because I already accomplished the mission conditions in one of each card. Well, one of each typing for card, which was only 5 characters, meaning I had a 6th slot. I run the Broly as the leader, and boom, I'll bring Beast Gohan. Why not? It didn't say I can't bring him. All it says in the mission is that I need one of each typing. He is the king of Dokkan at the moment. The very last one is, of course, Gogeta, and I just want to show, like, this is a pretty big jump right here, 3%. Not as big as the 5% right here, definitely not as big as the pretty much 10% right here. It's about 9-ish, but pretty much 10% jump. But yeah, so Gogeta, I just want to go ahead and say this. He was on a very good banner in Broly, so they had the guaranteed features. So even though Gogeta has arguably the worst banner in all of the 9th year banners that we got, the 4 ones that we got between Beast Gohan, Broly, Gammas, and then obviously this Gogeta, he was under the global exclusive step-ups, meaning that a lot of people pulled him because of the guaranteed featured SSR chance. I just want to go ahead and say, when I was chasing the Gammas, I put over 4,000 stones into the Gamma banner and did not get Gammas because it's a carnival banner, meaning that there's so many cards that you can get. There's so many bad cards on the banner too, just like there was on Gogeta. But the thing that saved a lot of people from getting Gogeta very, very early and not getting shafted like I should, you should never chase on Carnival banners, by the way, or Gold Coin banners unless they have like wild pity, like the Max banner is going to have in the future. But I digress. The thing that saved a lot of people with Gogeta was the guaranteed step-ups. So a lot of people ended up getting them because of how powerful the guaranteed step-ups were in the Part 1 anniversary for Global Dokkan. So I also want to go ahead and point out, he's the swaggiest, he's a fusion, he's a Super Saiyan, he's Gogeta, he transforms into blue, he has the new taunt active skill, he has so many cool things that people are playing with, and I honestly do think that's why he's so high on the list. He's a fusion. Fusion cards make money. We've seen in all the anniversaries that have fusions, they make ridiculous money. People love fusions, people love Super Saiyans, they love Super Saiyan Blue, and people love this man right here, Gogeta, especially in movies that are iconic like the Broly movie. So That's pretty much all I want to say. I don't want to go through his kit and explain why he's a good superheroes unit, because the best thing that I could do would just kind of be pointing towards like something like this: attack effective against all types. This is pretty cool, but specifically this Rainbow Key orbs, like Rainbow Key spheres, OP. Just like how I said with these guys right here, Rainbow Key support. These guys Rainbow Key support, and they can hold their own. That's pretty much all I'm gonna say for this card. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this list. I think it's the stereotypical Dokkan list. I do think there are a lot of reasons behind why people voted over Beast Gohan, other than the fact that they really didn't have a whole lot of time to vote for, we call it Beast Gohan, because he had pretty much just came out at this time. But I do think people had a lot of time to play with Gogeta, and what people are pretty much coming to the consensus of is that Gogeta was very, very worth their time. Similar to Beast Gohan, but like I said, they didn't have a lot of time to really play around with Beast Gohan in comparison to something like Gogeta and of course to Broly. And last thing I want to say is the banner differential. Beast Gohan did not have the guaranteed featured SSRs, so people are still chasing them and people are still having difficulties pulling them to this day. But because of the Global Dokkan Part 1W, a lot of people got Gogeta and a lot of people got Broly. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you all later.